Friends, join us! We have a spectacle!
Also, it took 3 months to build, so I don't want to waste it.
I give you the Warwolf!
Mark, thanks for coming back. I saw you posting this morning. I said, gotta get Mark on the show because I've been looking for verifiable data of what happened after the debate. Both parties claiming they won. Donald Trump, assassination attempt. What are the polls showing us, Mark?
They were going to try and use that debate to say that she won. And that's, of course, what they're using. The problem is they're only talking to Democrats now. And Kamala Harris is losing independents by 12 points as of our last poll. She needed to win independents over, and you cannot win independents with the content of what she put out in the debate. We're the only people putting out daily data, and there were, of course, some snap polls, but we all know the game has changed. We all know it comes down to viral stuff on TikTok or whatever, and now we have 4 nightly data points out, and the answer is, like, I don't know, it kind of looks the same. I will say the data has been a little bit more volatile over the last couple of days, but everybody looking at these daily data points knows that there's a plus or minus 5% margin of error on the individual ones. Now, the dotted line here is the 5-period moving average. That's much more like a real poll with a 2-point margin of error. And, you know, we had Trump tied, Trump +6, Trump -6, Trump +6. But you know what? The average still looks like a Trump +2 race. With maybe that one outlier in there. And that's exactly where we thought it was going to be and where it's stabilized at. 2 weeks ago, we had Trump +1. The New York Times agreed with us. Doesn't look like anything's really moving the race. Not a Taylor Swift tweet, not Trump getting shot at. I think it's all baked in. And so, again, you could say, oh, we want to see a bigger lead for Trump. Trump +2 is bigger than he's ever done in all of our polling at this point in the election cycle. And it's like literally 2 assassination attempts, your best debate, and the DNC can't get you above Trump. The Kamala Harris campaign must be sweating and acting like begging for an act of God right now, because in my opinion, that's all that's going to move these numbers. And so, like, maybe the next couple nights is more positive for Harris. Who knows? Because maybe there's a delayed reaction for the debate. I don't know. But Trump's going to keep doing Trump campaigning, which we've all seen. She's going to keep doing inauthentic stuff that's not primed towards addressing independence. And there you have it. That's the race, unless something else happens.
I mean, Trump +2 and 3, I think that people don't understand what you just said. Where was Trump versus Biden this time last election? Where was Trump versus Hillary?
Well, in our polling, Trump was down 6 points in 2020. And of course, the final result was 4. That's because we think we were about 2 points to left. Now, we did adjust for that. We shifted 2 points to the right. But then we went and added recall vote, which adds another 3 points of leftward slant. So 6 to 4, down to 7. Now Trump +2. That's a 9-point swing from where Trump was in our polling at this point in the election 4 years ago. And it's, you know, we have other charts. I'll tweet it later, the one that shows all the polling going back to Hillary Clinton. The point is the red line has been solidly and steadily increasing year after year over the last 10 years to where it is now. Like, Trump has never gotten 49% of the vote. You look at that chart, that's where the average is. He's getting 49% of the electorate. Like, he earned those people. I don't think she's going to be able to claw him back. And I think the real question mark is how many of the 47 she's got now she keeps, because maybe people find out more about what's in her platform, or she does a few more like interviews or something. Like, listen, again, anything could change, right? They could negotiate peace with Putin. Biden could resign. That would probably give Kamala Harris, you know, the win here. But I mean, like, obvious, like, non-black swan stuff, like, I don't see it, right? Like, he's been through everything. They weaponized the government against this guy. He's still got 49% of the vote.
So we're going to put up some more of the trend, the cleaner trend line, less noise.
Yeah, there
trend
you go.
polling. Here we go. I mean, listen, this is truly unbelievable. So you're saying it's Trump's to lose. We have 50 days away from the election. Would you advise Trump to do another debate, or would you say, hey, man, this cake's been baked?
No, I think the people who said, look at who declines the next debate, that's your winner, is probably true. And listen, like this, again, this comes down to independence. And I don't believe in all of the focus group voodoo that like Frank Luntz does and all that other stuff. But I do think it was telling to see how the people with their little dials responded to Kamala Harris, the independents, when she was talking. And they look exactly like the Republicans. When she opened her mouth, even before the words came out, there was distaste. And like, how do you overcome that? Like, I don't know how she's going to do it. And listen, Trump campaigns like Trump is going to campaign. He's going to go to these rallies. I don't know how many minds that's going to change, but it looks like, in my opinion, the last 4 years of the Biden presidency are what changed all these people's minds, because Trump has been polling pretty close to 49 or 50% for like 3 years now. Right?
49, 50% would be a popular vote win for Trump. Is this correct?
Yeah. And don't again, take it from me. Like, yeah, these are national numbers. This is Trump winning the national popular vote. And maybe she'll squeeze out, like maybe they haven't spent $1 billion on advertising yet. I know they're going to focus a lot of it on the swing states. Maybe, this blue line will go up more, but don't just take it from me. Nate Silver came out and only gives Kamala Harris a 58% chance of winning the popular vote herself. When Nate Silver is telling you as a Democrat, you only have a 58%, I don't know what the number is. I think that was like a week or two ago. And she's got, like, Nate Silver has Kamala Harris only, I think, at like a 25 or 30% favor to win the Electoral College. That's kind of where Hillary Clinton was, 4 years ago. Like, his numbers were 25, 30% against Hillary Clinton. So it's completely reversed. We saw this coming a long time ago, because ever since the fall of 2021, Biden has been viewed very unfavorably. It's not a popular presidential term. And she was always a part of his administration. And we've asked it a bunch of different ways. Like, we just did one earlier this week. I think that, we ask about issues like the border or inflation. And Trump wins over Kamala Harris by, 8 to 12 points, more than he actually does in the election matchup, but less than you'd think. But this one was very telling to me when considering the general conditions for the country, which is closer to your feeling. America needs more of the same, or it needs a fresh start and a new direction. The country says fresh start 69 to 24. But then as a candidate, does Kamala Harris offer more of the same or a fresh start? 60% more of the same, 34% fresh start and new direction. Independents, it's 62% to 30. As a presidential candidate, does Donald Trump offer more of the same? 39% more of the same, 52% fresh start. So this is a man who's been on the political stage for 10 years. He was president for 4 years. He's been in everybody's news. And he's the fresh start and new direction candidate, especially according to independents who say he's a fresh start, 54% to 36%.
You have here's the dial. I know you called for this, so here we go. Best production team on the internet, Mark. Got to tell you, man, we're Gunsmoke over here, man. We're gonna do hot as a pistol. So Pennsylvania numbers coming out yesterday and today. I'm seeing that, and I think the takeaway there is that Harris has had her lead eroded pretty significantly. Was this Suffolk poll, I believe?
Yeah, I think they got a leftward slant too. I've been looking at the Pennsylvania polling. Insider Advantage just came out with Trump +2. We pulled it back in the beginning of the middle of August and had it tie, statistical tie. And so I think there's rightward movement in Pennsylvania. We are literally pulling the trigger on new polls today or tomorrow. So next week we should have new Pennsylvania numbers. Look, Trafalgar's got Trump up 2 in Pennsylvania. I expect we're going to be in that vicinity. Pennsylvania is a must-win state. It's looking really bad for Kamala Harris. Our new polls in Pennsylvania, as well as these ones that just dropped, might even start to change the betting odds in Pennsylvania, because I still think they slightly favor Kamala Harris. And then the betting odds will start to go because Pennsylvania is so pivotal. The narrative is going to, in my opinion, probably next week be that Kamala Harris is starting to lose. Not just Nate Silver and Mark Mitchell and a few of these other individual pollsters, like in a way that they can't escape in the mainstream media. At least that's what it looks like.
Well, you were right. You were right the first time you came on the program. I mean, you nailed it, man. And so it's like the closest we can do to having a crystal ball. And so we say thank you, Mark. I mean, obviously we have Peter Thiel doing an interview last week with the All In podcast saying if it's close enough, they'll try and steal it. And that's Peter Thiel. He's smarter than us. But I mean, with Donald Trump winning the popular vote, that's not close at all, actually.
Yeah.
That's not a close race.
And like, listen, I know you're putting this on YouTube, so I'll limit what I say. I think people are very suspicious. 66% of voters think the outcome of this election will be affected by cheating. And there is a lot of attention on Pennsylvania right now.
Wow. Yeah. For good, I mean, obviously for good reason. And it sounds like there's been some decent upholdings in the Supreme Court over mail-in ballots and so on. So I guess we'll keep watching. Mark, please come back. Please, producers, I'll say this live. Bookmark weekly so that you can just come in. We'll just do your own segment and then we can come in and give the updates because I think it's really, really instructive.
I love it. There's 3 months out of every 4 years where people love numbers. So I'm there for
it. Godspeed, Mark. Here's his account on social. Looks like you got a beautiful, is that like a Jersey Shore there? Or
it's Victorian Ocean Grove on the Jersey Shore, the people that invented beach vacations.
Nice. Okay. Are you from Jersey?
Yeah, born and raised. It's a troubled state.
Very close last gubernatorial election, man. That was within a razor.
Until those late Democrat precinct results,
Isn't that special? Just always when the pipes burst. The whole thing, just the pipe bursts right when they're counting the votes. You just gotta figure that out now. Mark, thank you so much for your clarity on all of this. Please join the show soon.
Will do.
All right. See you, man.